very good to meet you and everyone over the Zoom capability, and to have an opportunity to introduce Lordstown Motors and our endurance pickup truck. So if I may give you a very short introduction. First of all, greetings to everyone, and viele Grüße aus den Vereinigten Staaten an euch allen. Like to say good morning. It's still morning here, afternoon with you, and introduce the Lordstown opportunity. A little background is Lordstown is based in Ohio near Cleveland. It is one of the biggest automobile manufacturing entities in the world. It has over 10.4 million square feet of usable space, and was until March of 2019 producing nearly 500,000 cars, cruise models, and other models previously per year. It is a former GM plant, and General Motors have been very supportive of us at Lordstown Motors restarting the operation. It's not a startup, it's a restart of a company that is run and directed by Steve Burns, who is our founder and chief executive. Steve and I have worked together for nearly 35 years. The last 12 years, we have been advising him and working close together on electric vehicles and telematics. You talk about connected vehicles. We have been very much in the forefront of developing proprietary telematics. Steve Burns is an IT expert. Siri is one of his inventions that we developed and sold to a party, and now is in common use in every smartphone. He is a strong automotive background, was involved in EVs. You can see the network there. There's Steve on the left. He was approached by GM to and talked to GM. He approached them. Both got into discussion about taking over this plant. You have John LaFleur, who's also got a background in EV. But then you come to Rich Smith. He was one of the first people that set up Tesla. Has a background in electric vehicles and with Tesla. And then myself, Caimin Flannery. Then Julio Rodriguez has worked in the automotive sector, and then Darren Post worked with Karma, Delphi, GM, and also was involved in the plant. We have put together a management team bringing EV expertise and expertise from the automotive sector. We have a lot of international background. Tesla, we even have some BMW and quite a few German former parties working with German companies here in the US. We are going to be the first to market with the Endurance, and the Endurance is an all-electric pickup truck. In the United States, you might be aware, pickups are very much part of daily life, and in some states, 26 to 30% and even higher are pickup trucks, both used for personal use and fleets. We are aiming our EV pickup truck at fleets. It is aimed at the working fleet. We are a technology industrial company with a, as we say here, truly differentiated pickup truck. One of the key drivers for, no pun intended, for the purchase of a electric vehicle is the total cost of ownership. Not only are companies interested in the green aspects and some of the recent legislation in states like California, Colorado, which require any municipality or any entity that is associated with the states to buy electric where electric is available. And California expects all vehicles to be electric in the next 10 to 12 years. The driving force behind this is the need for an electric pickup truck in fleet markets. We are aiming this at utilities, agriculture, construction companies, believe it or not, oil and gas sector, where because of its durability and the hub motors that are part of it, it will be very applicable to those industries, landscaping and so on. It is a working person's truck. You can plug in your equipment to it. You can use it in all different types of environment. The very interesting point compared to traditional vehicles is that it only has less than 5,000 parts. It only has 4 moving parts. That's the hub motors. This means that the total cost of maintenance for a fleet are greatly reduced, and the advantages, as one can see when you compare the total cost of ownership with other vehicles, is that it gives the fleet a direct bottom line advantage of many thousands of dollars, which if you're running a fleet of 5,000, 10,000, and some companies that have placed letters of intent with us have fleets of 20 to 30,000 pickups. So, and one entity we're talking with has a lease operation of over 600,000 pickups in its fleet. So we see a very definite market advantage. We have a 2-year time to market advantage. People are very much aware of potential competitors, but they're aimed at the individual, the personal market, like Rivian and Elon Musk, Cybertruck, and some of the others that are coming out. We are the unique entity going after working fleets, and we have, according to others and according to various people assessing the company and competition, we have probably 18 months to 2 years time advantage, because the plant that we've taken over just needs to be turned back on, and we are retrofitting it and retooling it at the moment. So, and one of the simple things, the way we look at this, compared to 12 to 15 mile per gallon, as we use here, we have a 75 plus mile per gallon equivalent, which is quite a daily saving and quite an operation. The range is 250 miles. The batteries can be charged at various systems that are available. We're working with a number of charging companies. We're working with utilities to affect the introduction into fleet, either at their depots or at people's homes. So we see a market opportunity. We have not only identified it, but we're affecting it in particularly California and Texas, which is the home of the pickup. In fact, people sometimes even get buried in their pickups in Texas. It's a little different. The pickup is very much part of our USS life. We are looking with our friends at Freenus to come into Europe, but probably not until 2021. We will expect to have production going late of this year, early next year. And I should say that we did introduce and unveil the Endurance on June 25th at Lordstown, with the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, doing the honor of unveiling the product. So we have a working truck. We are going to be taking it on a road show starting in the end of July, beginning of August. We will have test trucks out in the fourth quarter, and production will commence in the fourth quarter, early 2021. But the concentration 2021 will be on the US market. International markets we will follow. And as I say, we're delighted to work with Thomas Algar and his colleagues, and we would suggest any questions be directed to Thomas. We will not be in a position to move forward into Europe and international markets until sometime, probably late 2021, early 2022. Of course, that could change if someone comes with a major proposal. We're always welcoming of that. So the pickup truck, it is in the marketplace. We are taking it to both customers who've placed LOIs, big fleets, and we are going to be introducing it to municipalities, state government, and government organizations. They run very big fleets, as I'm sure you're aware. Like in any country, the cities have fleets of maintenance vehicles and service vehicles. So that's the main background. I think we have another slide to show.
Yes, maybe we can go to
Yeah,
this
there, just do
one.
the comparison. It's always good. You're judged by the company you keep, is an old expression, and we are in pretty good company. We have our Endurance, and then the major competitor is, of course, the Ford F-150, a very fine vehicle, but we compete very successfully, particularly when you come to total cost of ownership. They are talking about bringing out an EV, but we have a time to market advantage. The same applies when you look at the total cost of ownership comparison, just taking 16,000 miles annually. If you increase that mileage, it increases the appreciation and the advantage we have in the total cost of ownership. So if you'd like to go, I think the next slide will give you a little more. Yep, that's the
To be fair, like,
overview.
this is crazy.
Yeah, this is this is an aspect that we're very pleased with our relationship with the former owners. They've been very supportive, very, very helpful, and we have a good rapport. This is an enormous plant. It's on, in our terms, 800 plus acres, and you can even see there's a little forest there. We have GM have taken over one part of the plant to put in a battery operation, but we will have our own battery entity, and we are calling it Voltage Valley, and are bringing a number of companies internally because we have, as I said, 10.4 million square feet. That's over a million square meters of space available. Plus, we have outdoor space. We have a lot of room for expansion, and currently we have capability of producing 400,000 to 500,000 vehicles a year. We've been asked, are we going to plan others? Yes, working with some of the fleets. We expect we will have, because the lines carry a chassis very similar to what we are producing, that we will be able to produce delivery vans, SUVs, and some other vehicles. We're looking at a whole range of operations. And I think I should just mention briefly, because of connectivity, telematics, we have a proprietary telematics system. The relationship, Steve Burns was formerly chief executive of Workhorse. Workhorse produced the first EV that's used by UPS, and the telematics that were developed for that, for both delivery purposes, control of the operation and control of the driver. We have those proprietary capabilities licensed, and we'll be adding to them, because for fleets, telematics and the review of the performance of the vehicle, but also of the driver and the efficiencies of whatever the driver is doing, are very important. So that'll be one of the key elements. So appreciate you showing the overview of the plant, and we are.
It's like maybe like like from an external perspective, I think like Caimin, we know each other since like 12, 13 years.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
every story about you is like unique. And when we heard about first time about Lordstown Motors, this is just another crazy story. It's just like there's like a small restartup buying a plant from General Motors, entering with a few people, building a car and launching it and unveiling it like 2 weeks ago. And this is like such a crazy story. And I'm so looking forward like for your next months and years. So sorry for interrupting, but this is like really
No,
something
no,
that
you're
we
not,
need
and
to add
because
personally.
we we have a unique leader. Steve Burns has always been ahead of the curve. He created the delivery system of a drone coming out of a UPS truck, and they are using that in Texas to make delivery. That's a proprietary drone that he created. He created the Sure Fly, which is a two-man helicopter, an autonomous one too, which U.S. military are looking at to replenish troops in fire zones, you know, where dangerous areas. And we have one of the things we've worked together. Most of the team, we have a long, close working relationship. And Thomas, you're right. We do move quickly and are able to take advantage. We're nimble, and we have a great opportunity here. We see a demand. We had Ernst & Young do an extensive study, and they show that, you know, the annual market for pickup trucks in the US is anything from 3 to 4 million per year. And in some states, 26 to 30, even 40% of local sales are pickups. So we're in the right place. In the broad market, we have a number of individuals buying the trucks, even though our focus is on the fleet. So we're looking forward to becoming an international entity in due course, but we are concentrating currently on the United States. But delighted to have any inquiries through Freenus, our friends at Freenus, and Thomas. I'm sure you'll coordinate any activity, and I'd be delighted to work with you. Our friendship is deep and long, so appreciate the opportunity here. And I don't know if you want to show that short video of the introduction of probably one of the largest entities in the world. I mean, any company in Europe or Asia do not necessarily have the capabilities or the facility that we have taken over from General Motors. So
exactly.
If you have that, that might be a nice way to finish our
yes, 100%.
Yeah,
here it is.
Yeah, that's our leader. That's Steve.
So maybe I can turn off the sound and then we can talk. Maybe around it.
Yeah, even though the sound is important, it gives you a little background if you could.
Let's see whether it works. I'll do my best.
There's very few plants on planet Earth that have built as many vehicle systems. It's a gem of a building. The plant itself is very, very capable. It's very modern. Even though it's 53 years old, it's got modern equipment. It has robots. It has stamping machines, all the welders, a very modern paint booth. It has the assembly line that enables high volume production. We're able to retool this and reconfigure it for our purposes to make electric pickup trucks here. The stamping press is where it all starts. Raw metal comes in the back of this building, off of the train tracks. And these machines start to stamp it into the bare parts. Next, the robots get it, and they start to weld it into the structure. And then it gets dipped.
The size requires a motorbike to move around or a small transporter.
Workers on a line, a moving line, very often where every bolt is tracked. every torque wrench gets tracked and it bubbles up to the servers. And that infrastructure and the total kind of man-machine interface that this machine of our plant has made, and for us to just reconfigure it, right? If we were to build this from scratch, it just wouldn't be possible. They aren't going to make buildings like this.
It's over $2 billion of value there.
For our purposes, and we've been really pleased with the equipment here and the resources we've been able to find here. To produce a vehicle is not trivial, and no matter what kind of vehicle it is, it still has a steering wheel and seats and seat belts and airbags and doors, door handles and windows and windshields, and that takes to do that every time the same quality and to do it at a good economical price point. It takes a lot of automation and a lot of people. And this plant has been perfect for us. I'm Steve Burns. This is Lordstown Motors.
Ride with Lordstown. But I hope, Thomas, that gives the participants an overview of Lordstown, our endurance, and greatly appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and to introduce Lordstown and the endurance. And I'm available to answer questions if anyone at whatever time you wish.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Caimin. Like we just have in mind, like you unveiled the endurance like only a few days ago. So
that's correct.
When we discussed about like maybe joining the event, I think we discussed it during the hottest phase of the company so far.
Yes.
So,
yes. We were we were finishing the show model, the show car to present it and have the vice president. And on the website, if anyone would like, go on to lordstownmotors.com. You will see a review of the vice president, but also there is a White House video, their own 1 minute video of the vice president in the endurance truck and getting out of it and introducing it to the world. And we're very proud. But when we first talked, you're right. I mean, we're still, a small team. We're growing. We're employing people each day. We're raising funds to grow rapidly. So a lot is happening on a daily basis. So, Thomas, you're right. When we first talked, we were in the middle of getting ready for the launch on June 25th. So I'm delighted to still that you persisted and I've had this opportunity to join you.